Kris Jenner is worried because Corey Gamble wants to leave her. I mean, at this point, she's done with him as well, but they never had gotten married, which means that he doesn't get a payout once they're done. Corey says that he wants millions of dollars for his time as Kris's boyfriend, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he's willing to blackmail her and her daughters. So let's get into it. I just know Kris Jenner is concerned right now because Corey Gamble is so over their relationship, she's over him, and he wants a payday. And if he doesn't pay up, he's willing to blackmail her. That is what Radar Online is reporting, that Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble are on a brink of a split. Mama Jer's much younger boy toy. Corey Gamble, a boy toy. I wouldn't consider him that, but he's planning to demand a massive payout, or he's spilling the Kardashian family secrets.
The momager and her boy toy are headed for a split, and that is allegedly Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble.
Now, Kris was smart not marrying Corey because I don't think legally he has claim to, at least half of her estate. He probably can claim some part of the Kardashian show and things like that. And I'm sure he wants a big payday. And the Kardashian Jenners, they don't want to pay up. I mean, we've seen reports where their nannies weren't paid and things like that. The people who were creating their apps at one point filed a lawsuit against them because they were not paid. So I have a bad feeling that Corey Gamble might not get the big payday he wants. Kris and Corey are on the brink of breaking up, and it looks like it's turning out into a drawn-out saga as he refuses to walk away without being fairly compensated for all the hell he suffered over the past decade. Corey is currently 44, and if he doesn't get what he wants from the 69-year-old Kris Jenner, well, maybe we'll call her 60 because of the new face, but he's likely to spill her secrets and other family members' personal details too. One thing about Corey is that he has been there the entire time. He's been by Kris's side. He's probably overheard so much. He probably knows more than even some of the Kardashian sisters know, because they probably call Kris for advice or problems that maybe they wouldn't want their sisters to know about, but Corey Gamble overhears everything. Maybe now that he's leaving the Kardashian family, he can unblock me on Instagram and tell me some of the secrets. I would be willing to listen. They say, quote, "The relationship has been hanging by a thread for a long time. They can't seem to go anywhere without having an argument." Now, we did see them in Venice for Jeff Bezos' wedding, and they didn't seem happy together. There was a moment when they were on a boat, and it seemed like they were headed back to the hotel early after the wedding, and at one point Kris was telling Corey what to do, telling him to tell the workers like they want to go and ride alone to the hotel. They just need to have their space, I guess. She didn't want to ride with anyone else. It seems like Kris Jenner was in a bad mood. At one point, Kris Jenner turned to Corey Gamble on that boat and said, "What are you doing? Do you need to talk? I told you, for God's sake, I'd want to travel alone." I guess it was an awkward exchange. It sounded like she was berating one of her employees. But that's not the only argument that they've had in public. They were also at a Beyonce concert in Vegas. Thank God Khloe Kardashian was there to try to de-escalate things because Kris looked pissed. Quote, "Kris constantly ridicules him in public and he's not taking it anymore. It looks like Corey refuses to be Kris's doormat and now everyone knows the score. It's just a matter of time before they go their separate ways." But Corey's not walking away quietly. He feels like he deserves a nice payday. He reasons he deserves it after having been Kris's protector, business partner, assistant, confidant, and lover. If you ask him, he's the unsung hero here, the glue holding the family together during all their crises. Now that Kris is berating him in public, he's upset and he wants Kris to make it right. Corey was a respected talent agent handler when he and Kris hooked up, but he put his career on pause for her. Now he just wants his fair share. I wonder how many millions that will be. Or he'll be forced to find other ways to profit off of the years he was with Kris. Actually, they say, quote, "Kris's love slave." But I don't know, Corey. I mean, the Kardashians have this really good money. I'm sure he signed an NDA, but at one point, if the secrets are really that juicy, they'll pay for themselves. They say that Corey and Kris are way past their honeymoon stage. They get on each other's nerves. Kris and Corey will have these fights from time to time, and they get on each other's nerves like any couple, I guess, but it seems like it's becoming more and more prevalent. Also, these people have so much power and riches and money and privilege that they should enjoy their time together, not fighting each other at the Cowboy Carter show. Supposedly, this was a typical fight between the two. Kris is not the easiest person to tame, a source says, and keep at ease. Corey usually lets her be, but sometimes he can't take it and he hits back and it all kicks off. This recent exchange was one of those moments. They're just a couple that get sick of each other at times. These brief bust-ups are probably the most honest and relatable trait that she has with people. And you can see Kris right here. She's like turning away from Corey. It seems like they're in mid-conversation. His hand is up. And I could totally see Chloe like talking Corey down. She's like, Corey, like, you need to be nice. And Kris is very emotional. What she's been going through. Eyewitnesses described the exchange as visibly tense. And it also seemed like Chloe appeared to try to reassure a frustrated Corey Gamble after, with this like calming hand motion, trying to talk him down and I guess just de-escalate. This person writes, that's a relationship of convenience. There's no affection there. This person writes, like many men and women have done before Kris, she's probably ready for an upgrade to a newer, younger model. She did get her entire face redone and likely her body probably rearranged and moved parts around and looks younger. And now she's worth a lot more than she was when she first dated him. And even that new face cannot hide how mad Kris Jenner was there. You can kind of see she's like kind of pouting, like, pressing her lips together. She's pissed.
Kris Jenner is realizing that she's tired of Corey Gamble. Corey Gamble is a weight. He's been a weight, okay? And at the time when she got with him, he served a purpose. But he has just kind of been a weight lingering around and hasn't done anything besides suck Kris Jenner dry.
Because we're talking about Corey Gamble, I wanted to also do an update on Scott Disick. Kourtney Kardashian's rolling her eyes at Kim as she's helping Scott reinvent himself. Kim and Scott have had some ups and downs over the years, but at the end of the day, she still sees him as family and she's protective of him. She believes in second chances and can see that he's really trying to better himself, and that's something that she wants to support and encourage. The source says they talk a lot. Kim's always checking in on him and he's very supportive of her too. Imagine if Kim and Scott got together. That would be so weird, but not surprising. But it looks like Kourtney's not having it. She's rolling her eyes at all of them. This source claims that Kourtney can see right through him, and she knows that Scott's just a master manipulator who knows how to say all the right things and kiss up to people to keep them sweet. He's been a great dad, and that scores a lot of points with Kim, and she doesn't see why the whole family has to ice him out just because Kourtney's done with him. This person commented that Scott's on the show, and that keeps the checks coming. Simple. So, of course, Kim's going to be nice to him. They need to keep someone entertaining on the show. Kim actually thinks that she is important, as if she's making a difference. This is truly sad and hilarious all at once. Kourtney, the best way to stay out of media attention is just to, just stay out of the media. Pretty simple. Now, I remember like the last time I made a Scott video, we were talking about the concern around him losing so much weight, possibly relapsing. And I don't know exactly like what happened behind the scenes. I mean, I think we found out that he's actually on Ozempic. And part of that is because while they were filming the show, they were at his home and he opened his fridge and you could see right where his butter could be is where the Ozempic is at. Scott denied this on the show, and I feel like it ultimately became part of the story plot. Like, why not talk about it? Like, we'll make a joke of it. He denied it, and then he eventually was caught. Some person pointed out that this could be some kind of product placement, which I didn't think of. I was like, oh wait, it's just like a mistake, but nothing's really a mistake. Like if they're getting a shot of the fridge, they have to keep in mind like what is in it, and they probably placed that as part of the storyline. But also I wonder if it was placed as like an advertisement, like an endorsement. Either way, it seems like Scott has maybe chilled out on some of those Ozempic, but interesting that he's talking to Kim so much. I feel like Kim is like keeping him in her in her back pocket, because right now she's been having a really hard time in the love department. It looks like, I feel like Kris is going to be single by the end of the year though, especially with how she and Corey seem to be acting around each other. They don't seem happy, in my opinion. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye guys.